I think you guys got enough practice viewing there, so I'll open it up to questions. You guys probably got enough, so I'll let you guys fire away and get to questions.
Coach, right up the middle, snaps were an issue today. How concerned are you about that going forward?
I was probably a little, I think we're at this point in practice 12 where I'm very demanding, and will be, from 12 all the way to the first game. He's going to be fine. It's really just about what we're asking him to do is a lot more now other than snapping. If he was just snapping the ball, he'd be fine. But we're asking him to call out the front. He's making the checks. He's gone from playing, guard to center. And so this is a culmination now of all of that being, piled on. And he actually feels comfortable snapping it now. And so he's not paying attention to the details of it. So we'll get it worked out. I'm not concerned about it, but I have to stay on him and make sure that he's aware that it affects the timing of the offense.
Yeah, Coach. Along that line, do you think your first offensive line is settled?
No. There's still opportunities. Cam Wire is still in the picture. Dummerville is just getting back with an ankle. Those two guys are still competing. And then, Turner is still in competition. So I'd say those three guys in particular are still vying for an opportunity. We'll make some Saturday, we'll move that group around a little bit. We're going to move Bradford inside. We'll kick Cam Wire out to tackle. So there's still some moving around on that offensive line to see what the best five guys are. But by and large, it's the guys that I just mentioned. Those are your 8 right now. Emory probably 9 at this point. That's probably what we're looking at this point.
Hey, Coach Kelly, right here in the middle. Colby Richardson appeared to have a strong day against Keyshawn Booty running with the ones. I'm sure a lot of people didn't have Colby on their radars like a month ago. How impressed are you that he came in here from McNeese State and not only in doing well, but running with the ones right now?
Yeah, so, a lot of things had to transpire. First of all, he put on, close to 20 pounds. And so his summer workouts were outstanding. So we saw this natural athlete that really was not physically ready to compete at the level of the SEC transform himself physically. And, once that started to take shape and form, we saw speed right away, but he was 167 pounds, and so he wasn't physically strong enough to compete at this level. Now, over, 188 to 190, although Amani kind of showed him what it's like to, take on a bowling ball, he certainly has now developed himself into a guy that's going to play football for us.
Yeah, Brian, right here. What did you see, I guess, individually out of your 2 quarterbacks today that you liked and things you thought might need to get better?
Yeah, so we do a well better learned every day. I thought what they did well was distribute the football timely, protected themselves. I thought yesterday we made some untimely errors. We threw a couple of interceptions in the red zone, which, you just can't turn the ball over. I thought that they were very good with the football today. I don't like talking about managing because managing gets, a definition of, they're just, doing well enough to get by. They were smart with the football today. They made plays, and I thought did a really good job of operating. So I think in particular, I thought the ball came out of Daniel's hand really well today, especially off the RPOs. It was accurate. I thought Nuss made some really good reads off of zone read action, which has been one of the things that we've been working on. So in particular, those two things for each one of them.
We've asked you often about depth at corner, but I guess where are you at right now in figuring out who those top two outside guys are right now?
Well, I mean, we like Jarek at the wide field corner. We think he's really smart and savvy, has a good feel for it. Mackay as well can play there. I just think that we have interchangeable pieces there. The freshman's done a really nice job out there. I think we came into camp with a lot of uncertainties at corner, and I think going into our 13th practice, I think we've got 6 corners that we feel that we can play, and that's a far cry from where we were. A few months ago.
Where's Seven Banks kind of at right now with these?
Yeah, so he got cleared, for 7-on-7, and then had a little soreness, so we backed him off, and he's cleared again. We like him into the short field because of his physicality and just his ability to be a big tackler for us. But again, he's a guy who could find himself a role inside or out. And he's going to find himself on the field for us as well.
Hey, Coach, back here.
Yes.
Dre Jenkins flashed several times today. How have you seen him just progress so far through camp and coming in as a senior, maybe taking some leadership of that room?
Yeah, that's a good question. I wish he would take more of a leadership role. You hearing me, Dre? Can he hear me? He'll hear me, won't he? He will? Okay. I think he will. Yeah, I mean, we need that leadership, and it comes from consistency. Will he hear that too? I think so. Yeah. So that's what we're looking for. What we saw today, consistency every single day, being the same guy. He's a great kid. We just need that every single day. If we can get that from him every day, that room's going to be in really good shape.
Hey, Coach, here on the left. You've got Dybert, Venison, Mata, Ramos. Where are y'all at with this kicker battle, and kind of what have you seen from the guys through a couple weeks camp, few weeks?
That's a really good question. I've spent a lot of time over there the last week. Ramos is really impressed. As you saw, he kicked a lot today. He missed one. The snap was not a good snap. We got stretched on the snap. We couldn't get it down properly, but he's been really good. Dybert is a young kicker, but he's very talented. I think it's early. Finnison has got a strong leg. He's also a kid that's got some experience from Northwestern. We're not ready to name a guy yet, but I feel a whole lot better that we've got some options there that can kick the ball deep based upon our hit chart in practice relative to kickoffs. And I think we're going to be consistent in field goals. We're not ready to name somebody yet, but I think we've got some depth there right now that I feel good about.
Coach, what are the impressions of the running style that Kane has brought you? And I know he talked a little bit about, he was struggling post-injury. Does he look like he's back to pre-injury form?
I think he's getting better every day. I didn't think he played early on with the physicality. It looked like he was still kind of feeling his way through it a little bit early on, but you can see he's starting to come on and playing, behind his pads with better vision. And I just think he's going to continue to feel better and more comfortable. I would like to see him take the swing out of the backfield, upfield. He tried to dance a little bit, but he's coming on. He's getting better. And I know he's feeling better about himself, too, in terms of just getting back into the fold, so to speak. So I think progress is definitely being made there.
Ryan Wilson with The Advocate. We've seen a lot of Major Burns running first team at safety. Kind of what's his progress been like since he was able to actually practice fully coming off that injury, and kind of how are things shaping up at safety?
Yeah, Major is a smart and savvy player. He brings smartness to that defense in a sense. I don't even know if that's a word, but he brings a savvy to that defensive structure. He makes a lot of good calls. He communicates very well. He's a presence on that defense, and he'll be involved quite a bit in terms of what we do defensively because of that. He's around the ball. He's got really good ball skills. He's a tackler. But I think more than anything else, it's his communication skills, and he's a smart football player.
Hey, Coach, before you got into scrimmage work, you were coaching Walker Howard hard and those other guys in terms of signaling into plays and getting that into the offense. Why is that important, that process important there?
Well, I think the quarterbacks need to be involved in it, because they're going to be, part of the conversations each week in terms of game planning. And so, like right now, we're installing like 1 million plays, right? But we're going to be so specific in what we're going to be doing in game planning, and those quarterbacks are in your meeting room, and they're much more privy to those conversations in terms of signaling and what you want. And I've always felt like the quarterbacks are your best signalers. Now, we'll have other signalers, and we have student managers that do a great job. And they'll be part of our rotation, but I like the quarterbacks. And it was just too early in the process to get them involved because they needed reps. But now as we get through camp a little bit, we can give them a little time. And we're bringing in Matt O'Dowd into camp, and he'll be part of that rotation as well.
Coach, you talked about the cornerbacks earlier. Mekhi Gardner, what have you really seen from him, his development? And have you seen him kind of take a leadership role in that room?
No, he's been good. I mean, Mekhi is a physical player. I mean, you can see him. I mean, that's about as big a corner that you're going to get. I mean, he could play safety. He's got a great demeanor. His attitude is great. He's a great teammate. He's one of our SWAT leaders. I couldn't say enough good things about him in terms of how he goes to work every day. But he's in a battle, That's a very competitive situation. We just talked about it. But he's a big physical presence at that position, and he just gives us, another really gifted player at that position.
And also looking at the way that you guys are coaching your players, there's a lot of intensity behind the way that you guys are coaching them. Why is it so important to have that mentality in practice now?
Well, we're demanding. We're never demeaning. You can hear it by the way we talk to our guys. There's no cursing, and we're never going to be demeaning to our players. But we're demanding. This is about graduating all of our players and winning a national championship, and you can't do that if you're just sitting on your hands out there. So we're going to challenge our players. That's why they're here at LSU. They want to win a championship too. So we're going to be demanding, do it the right way. And do it within the right, positive coaching environment, and make sure they know that we still love them, but we're gonna push them to be their very best.
Coach, when you were evaluating the center position, what made Garrett Dellinger the choice? I mean, he's never played center before, so what characteristics really stood out to you to make him the choice to train at that position?
I think first and foremost, just his ability to move. He's got good lateral ability to move, size. Today, you're getting so much shade on the center. The days of playing, a small center are starting to dwindle. You're getting such big guys on the nose now, especially in third down situations. So he matched the criteria of somebody that could move, and he's 313 pounds. I think the next criteria was his football smarts. He could handle calling out the fronts and picking up the things necessary. I think the best way to look at it is, in most sports, strength down the middle, right? The quarterback, the center fielder, the shortstop, whatever sport you want to play, you want your smart, athletic guys there, and he's smart and he's athletic for his position.
Coach, would you say offense or defense had the better day of it today? And secondly, only 13 takeaways from LSU's defense last year. Can you talk about Matt House and you and what you want to do as far as more strips, takeaways, and the identity of the defense?
Yeah, there's no doubt that from, one day to the next, it's, I'm a head coach, right? So I never leave feeling good about practice because it's usually offense one day, defense the next. Yesterday, we threw 2 interceptions in the red zone. Our defense was great yesterday. Today, I think we moved the ball pretty good on offense, and, it was probably more of an offensive day, But, that's practice, right? And that's why I say we evaluate each day and don't walk away going, we've arrived, right? We made some progress today offensively. Yesterday we had a great day defensively. It's going to allow us to do a well, better, learn. What did we do well? What do we need to do better? And then what did we learn? From a defensive structure, it's the ability to play 4 down and 3 down. It's the ability to make it difficult to recognize who's coming off the edge, who's dropping into coverage, and bringing pressure. We want you to feel uncomfortable back there. And that's really the basis of the defensive structure, and then put really good players out there, and that helps a lot. Thank you. This was the new leadership at Polk, Fort Polk, and Terry Malone knows the new leadership there, and they had reached out to us, and we were more than happy to accommodate them today. And they're looking at doing something for their entire operation. I think 1,600. They have over 1,600 people at the base, and we're trying to set something up to bring them all here for a game. So yeah, it was kind of a mutual outreach, and we're happy to do it. Thank you.